We're back with the candidates for Long Beach City Prosecutor. Doug, it's now your opportunity to ask a question of your opponent.
Absolutely. Tim, I know you're very proud of your record as a criminal defense attorney, but let me ask you, I think transparency is very, very important. Are you willing to make public the names of the criminal defendants that you've represented? I think it's important for the public to know who you've represented as a criminal defense attorney.
Making the people's names available, frankly, I think is a red herring in any type of issue like this. Those pieces of information are certainly available in the public purview, and the answer is, frankly, something that I don't want to be invading people's privacy. Matters that happened years ago should stay there, frankly. So
you won't release the names?
I think he gave his answer.
That's correct, sir. Thank you.
Okay. The prosecutor's office, per se, has from time to time been bandied about as a target for elimination, that we can save some money if we eliminate the prosecutor's office and fold it into the city attorney's office, and some of the stuff also goes up to the DA's office. What's your view, Tim, of that proposal?
I have a very strong view on that, and I think that is nothing short of a bad suggestion. I think the Long Beach system, where we have a divided city prosecutor and a city attorney's office, much like the county does, where there's a district attorney's office and a county council office, I think is good government. It avoids all kinds of conflicts of interest that agencies like the city attorneys of Los Angeles has. The work has to be done. Somebody is going to pay for that. There was a study I think done a few years back where they looked at what happens if you combine the offices, and I don't believe there's any financial savings at all. You'd have a single head of a city attorney's office, much like Los Angeles does, where you have a head of a criminal division and a head of a civil division. There's no budgetary savings there. If you get the district attorney's office to do it, frankly, you're going to be paying a lot of money for this, not getting the kinds of services that the city needs and backing up our police department on the street.
Doug, same question to you, and just by way of noting, there are very few cities that do have an elected city prosecutor. First, do you think it's a good idea to keep it the way it is? If so, why? If not, why not?
Well, I would support studying it. There are pluses, there are minuses. I think if we evaluate it, not just from a budgetary concern, although I think that is a very important thing, but the effectiveness. If you could do it better in a different manner, I think we need to look at it. And I don't have any preconceived notions of how it has to be. I think the voters deserve a thorough study, and whatever makes sense from a position of effectiveness and saving money, I think whoever's in office has to support that.
You stress in your resume the importance of ethics and the experience you've had on ethics commissions. Just address the relevance of ethics to the work of a city prosecutor.
Well, I think ethics is important for anyone that's in public service. I was proud to be on the ethics task force here in Long Beach. I advocated not just the adoption of a lobbying ordinance, which increases transparency, but also the elimination of discretionary funds, which at the time was very controversial, and the city did eventually eliminate it for budgetary reasons. But I think it's very, very important. Transparency is very, very important to the people, and the people in Long Beach deserve to know what's going on in their office. I would want to make everything that happens in the city prosecutor's office open and available to the public so they can see it. This is their tax dollars at work. I think they need to see how it's working and if it's working.
Tim, you've had a distinguished military career and served in the Army Reserve and served at Guantanamo and in the internal riots in LA, where you activated. Ethics is important in the military, and again, same question, speak to the importance of ethics as it applies to the prosecutor's office.
Ethics for a prosecutor has a very distinct role, separate than private counsel. A prosecutor has to look at everything from a justice standpoint. And the ethics of a prosecutor have to be above reproach. They have to be able to sit down and look at what is the right thing to do, because our role is to do the right thing to the right people at the right time for the right reasons. We can't allow anything to interfere with that ethical judgment of a prosecutor.
Time goes fast when you're having fun, and it's up to the closing 30-second statement. Tim, you first.
Well, thank you very much, Art. Again, I think this race comes down to one of leadership, experience, and a track record of proven service to the city of Long Beach and its citizens. I have the 20 years in our Long Beach courts. I know our courts. I know how our prosecutor's office runs, and frankly, I'm ready to lead. I don't need a startup time, 2 years of learning the job. I am the prosecutor that can take this office and continue the good work that we're doing.
Thank you, Tim O'Reilly, candidate for City Prosecutor. Doug, your turn.
I want to thank you again for having us. I know these are the concluding remarks, but there's only one candidate who's been a city prosecutor for 10 years. There's only one candidate who can bring an outside perspective into Long Beach to improve the effectiveness of this office. I'm very proud to be endorsed by a number of people here in town. I think that shows that they trust me and they know what I will do in that office. This is a very important office for Long Beach. I think it's important that we have a prosecutor who's passionate about our city, who knows the neighborhoods, who understands the problems, and can help fix them. Thank you.
Doug Haubert, candidate for City Prosecutor, thank you for joining us. We'll be back with the remaining portions of Straight Talk after these messages.
Welcome to McKenna's on the Bay, where fine dining is complemented with a breathtaking view. McKenna's is a restaurant of incredible ambiance, providing service and cuisine with style, class, and romance. The menu offers a variety of appetizers, serious seafood, prime steaks, an oyster bar, and specialty entrees for either lunch or dinner. McKenna's on the Bay features patio dining, nightly entertainment, and 2 banquet facilities. No matter what your occasion, McKenna's on the Bay is like being on vacation. Join us today at McKenna's on the Bay.
Founded in 1976, Polly's Gourmet Coffee is Southern California's most complete gourmet coffee store. Polly's has the best tasting coffee, freshly roasted every day right in the store, plus a wide selection of teas, an in-house bakery, espresso bar, patio dining, and more. We also offer Wi-Fi, free internet access for all of our customers. Our nationwide clientele agree when it comes to coffee, there's only one name to remember: Polly's, 4606 East 2nd Street, welcoming you into Belmont Shore.
Take care of those who are closest to you, from our family to yours. McCarty's Jewelry, since 1932.
How do you like your chances the rest of the way?
I got no idea. But I do know that if we stay with Naples Rib Company, at least we won't go hungry.
Coach, what do you think about some of those questionable calls tonight?
Yeah, but if you want a sound call, I'd call Naples Rib Company. You can't miss on that call.
Then Naples Rib Company is part of your game plan?
There really is nothing more motivating than a great barbecue meal at Naples Rib Company.
Victory or not, Naples Rib Company, great game plan.
I believe we have 2 well-qualified candidates running for Long Beach City Prosecutor. It's very important for the democratic process to work that people of quality take an interest and go through what you have to do to run for office and get elected. So I want to thank both of our guests for being part of that process, and Doug Haubert, wishing you very well in your race. Thank you for joining us. And Tim O'Reilly, thank you for your military service and for your service to the community. And thank you for coming here on Straight Talk.
Thank you for having us, Art.
And thank you at home for joining us. And the important thing is to vote, to make your voice heard on April 13th, Election Day. One of these 2 gentlemen is going to be our next city prosecutor. It's a very important position. Be part of the democratic process. Remember, people have given their lives over the centuries to ensure our right to vote. Exercise it.
Straight Talk has been brought to you by Southern California Edison, the Press Telegram, and Long Beach Magazine. And remember, Straight Talk is viewable worldwide 24/7 at straighttalktv.com.